reveals that her and her husband, Derek, are actually in the process of preparing to move to Denver for a new job offer that he's accepted. And of course, everyone was like, well, why are you just telling us now? And she says that, she didn't really want to say anything to them because once she did that, it would definitely become more of a reality. And she just wasn't really ready to accept the fact that, she would be losing or moving away from her best friends. And she voices her concerns about, her and Derek potentially maybe wanting to have another child. And she's worried that, what if she slips back into depression, after she has the baby or even during the pregnancy. And Molly reassures her that, it's not an issue. They'll definitely be on the first flight to Denver if she ever needs them. One thing that her mother has revealed to her is that, we definitely have to be intentional with the people that we love in our lives and definitely make a point to not take them for granted. So after talking, Molly realizes that it's almost time for dinner, but she suggests that they just stay in and finish their drinks. And everybody seems to pretty much be on board with that. So fast forward, the ladies are all out on the balcony vibing, enjoying their own little space. And Issa suggests that they should text Torian because, sometimes men just need a little push in her mind. And Molly's like, well, what should I say? And Issa's like, we can just say something along the lines of, maybe we should get together outside of work. And of course, Kelly's in the background like, fuck that, text that nigga that you trying to fuck tonight. And Molly's like, nah, she's not really trying to play it like that. So she takes the phone back from Issa and starts to write a message. And in the process of allowing Issa to preview the message, Molly gets a call from Dro. And Issa's like, why the hell is Dro calling you? And Molly looks genuinely shocked, and she's like, I don't know, maybe he's calling to check on me about my mom or something like that. The more I think about it, I feel like it's really too late for Dro to be reintroduced to the show. I think that the phone call is going to be more so just to show the growth that Molly has had, that she knows that the situation with Dro is definitely not going to be beneficial for her. So the best thing that she can do is probably focus on the situation with Tori, and if that's something that she's really serious about moving forward. And Kelly is in the background providing her comic relief as always, saying, it's just the power of the exes. It's upon us. There's nothing that we can do about it. You may as well just roll with it and try to get ahead of it. So Issa, hearing that, decides that, why not give Lawrence a call? So Molly sees Issa in the process of making a phone call and is like, who are you calling? And when Issa responds with Lawrence, she takes the phone and hangs it up. Like, girl, if he picks up, like, what are you really going to say? And she was like, well, I just feel like we never really had closure and a lot has happened and we should really just have a conversation. And Molly's like, look, I love you, but when we had the conversation earlier about you being inconsistent, like, this is definitely that. And Molly basically gives us some good advice. She's like, look, you're a little bit under the influence. In the morning when you're sober, if you still want to give him a call, fine, call him then. And just by her giving Issa that advice, it further convinces me that I don't really see her going back down the path with Dro. Because at this point, I just think that she's really just outgrown the situation. Changing pages to Lawrence and Condola, right? So this episode, we first see Lawrence dropping off the baby to Condola, and we get a different glimpse or a different perspective on their relationship. It's obvious that they've been able to establish some sort of relationship where they can at least co-parent from a healthy space, which is definitely good, because if we remember at the birthday party, like, that shit was borderline, like, I don't even know what to call it. Well, actually, I do know what to call it, because if law enforcement was ever be involved, it would be called contributing to the delinquency of a minor. But that's neither here nor there, because, like I said, they're in a great space right now. But we see Lawrence bringing the baby in, and he brings in a couple of boxes that he saw on the porch. And Condola says that it was a bookshelf that she had that she still needs to put together. And Lawrence offers to put it together for her, but she says, it's okay. She has a friend that's supposed to come by and do it. And Lawrence insists by saying, I'm here. I don't mind. I don't have anything else to do. So Condola says, hey, why not join the club? So after completing the bookshelf, we see Condola's in the kitchen feeding baby Elijah, and he seems to not really be wanting to cooperate. So Lawrence intervenes, and we basically just get to see them interacting together with the child on screen, and everyone looks happy for the most part. I mean, it looks like a happy family. And Lawrence brings up the conversation about how, he was really an asshole in the beginning of their relationship, and he's glad that things worked out the way that they did, because had they not, he would never be in the situation to have Elijah, and he really feels like that's the best thing that's ever happened to him at this point in his life. Now, Condola hearing this is definitely like, happy, to say the least. To say happy would be an understatement. She gets really emotional and says that, she just wants him to be happy, and he wants her to be happy. She doesn't want him to be miserable. And, in return, Lawrence says that he wants the same for her. And Condola basically alludes to the fact that she was feeling guilty for even considering the fact of not going through with the pregnancy at some point in the beginning. And Lawrence tells her that, it's okay. She really shouldn't feel bad about it because, like he said, he was definitely an asshole, and it was just a rough time for both of them in general. And Condola says, yeah, we both had a bit of a learning curve that we had to adjust to. So that's pretty much like where the scene ends. But what it lets me know is that I definitely think that Condola and Lawrence are done from a relationship aspect. Like, I think they're just going to try to be in a space where they can just co-parent together, because if there was going to be more, I feel like tonight would have definitely probably been the scene or the setting for whatever their relationship would be moving forward. Turning the page back to Issa, we pick up the next morning, and Issa is cleaning up, and all of the other ladies have left, and she lets them know to give her a call whenever they make it home safely. And Issa gets a text from Nathan asking her to give him a call whenever she gets a chance. So she goes ahead and gives him a ring, and Nathan basically starts off by explaining his behavior, I guess you could say, the last few days or however long it's been. And he says that he understands that they hadn't really been on the same page or seeing things eye to eye, and he wants to apologize, and that he's aware that his behavior can be extremely avoidant at times, and that it's really immature, and he needs to basically man up and face the situation for what it is and stop making a point to just run away whenever he feels like there's a problem. And we can tell that Issa was definitely surprised by this statement. I think that she was actually expecting him to say something to the extent of he was leaving, or some attempt to either end the relationship or definitely slow it down. So when he actually confessed that he loves her and that he always has loved her, it definitely was a pleasant surprise for her. So Issa asked him if he's deciding to stay or if he's going to move away, and he says that he's definitely going to stay. So Issa gets off the phone, definitely feeling like she's on cloud nine. Nathan says he loves you before he hangs up the phone. And this is just the perfect example of how the devil works. Like, it don't even be funny. As soon as she gets off the phone with him, she's about to finish cleaning up, and the phone rings, and I guess she naturally assumed it was probably Nathan, considering that they had just gotten off the phone. And she sees that it's Lawrence. And you can tell by the pause that it's going to be a dilemma in the future episodes coming forward. Like, there's going to have to be a choice made, because I definitely think that Lawrence is going to try to come back in the picture. And I think he feels the same way that Issa was voicing that she felt when she was under the influence, that a lot has happened and there was never really a conversation to provide either one of them with closure. But it's another messy situation for Issa, because in all honesty, now you have Nathan like all the way in his feelings. He even said that he's never even said I love you before to anyone else. So I don't know, like, it's just going to be messy. But I don't know if Issa can really walk away from Lawrence, even if she feels like that would be the right thing to do. So I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like, who do you think Issa should focus on? Should she just put 100% into Nathan, since that's what she's been telling him that she wants to do? Or should she see if she's really done with Lawrence, or if that season has just come to an end in her life for now? And do you guys think that Molly will even return Rose call? But I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out either way. But like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Until next time, it's TLTV checking out.